it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Live from the smartwaytobuy.com studios.
All right, the president of the Colin Kaepernick fan club, Mike Gallagher.
The colonoscopy fan.
I'm wearing all my Nike gear today.
Can you believe that? You can't make it up.
You can't.
It's like they give it out. Mike Gallagher, the brilliant, the wonderful, the compassionate conservative, one of the great broadcasters.
Why,
and I'm telling you,
thank you.
I am honored to be next to this man.
Wow.
With your national audience, with Salem Media, and we love you, man. I learned so much from you over these going into the 5th year here on the radio.
You guys are my show prep every morning, driving down 11th Avenue, listening, trying to fight Al for the parking space. And he manages it. He gets it. He's in front of that bulldozer.
And if you're not there, he will push you literally.
Oh
with
no,
his
he'll
car.
knock you over. He'll just go, as I whine about my colonoscopy Friday, because I had my colonoscopy.
And
that was
all
a
good?
big deal
All
because
good?
you know how many talk show hosts from 10 to 1 does it take to screw in a light bulb?
That's very funny. How many?
One, because the rest of the world revolves around him. But that was actually a joke about an actor, because I got a lot of actor buddies and friends and everything. Went and saw my pal Max Von Essen in Anastasia again the other night, the great Tom Von Essen's son. You remember Tom, who's now working on Puerto Rico for FEMA.
Wow.
And Tom was the fire commissioner of the NYP, or the FDNY. I've known the Von Essens for years, and Max, their son, is a big Broadway star, and he's now Gleb on Broadway's Anastasia.
How do you find out about this stuff?
I've known Tom for years. I've interviewed him for years, so the fact that he's got a kid who's a Broadway star, but just a wonderful family, and the Von Essens are some of my favorite folks in the world.
See, like, you don't wear your headphones. I have to hear myself, like to gauge myself. You don't wear the headphones?
Well, I do in the morning. I mean, I do when I do the radio show, but not when I'm in with you guys. We've got the cameras going.
I know,
you got
please,
the suit on.
please,
And the company we're in today, Al. I mean, these beautiful women in and out of the studio.
That's right.
Kevin Jackson popping in.
How about
Bernie
that?
Carrick.
Bernie's come a little while. Kevin is great. Kevin can say
Burke with all
Chef
Burke. We have some leftovers for you that he prepared.
Meatloaf.
Great.
Piscopo's doing well.
I'll tell you most importantly. But it was interesting because Kevin came in. He could say he is so fun. He could say everything that you want to say, but you can't because everybody. You know what? I'll tell you this, Mike, and help me out here. As I walked here in the morning, I walked down Wall Street.
Yes, sir.
And then I went by Our Lady of Victory Church, and I'm right outside the church. And I walked by, and my head's like, okay, this is early morning. Let me get my head into the game. And I'm walking up Wall Street, and there was a gentleman that came to my right. And I said, excuse me. And he said, yes, sir. As nice an exchange as you ever have in New York.
Right.
And then I glanced over to nod, and I wouldn't even thought about it until all this racial divide that the media is creating, or what happened in the last 8 years. It was a black man. Mm-hmm. And here we crossed each other's paths in the most polite of ways. If it was up to the media, if you watch what they're trying to portray, he would be like, hey, man, that's white privilege, you walking in front of me like that. You know, there's none of it. We are a good people. We are a just people.
Walking by a church is a perfect metaphor for what we need to be doing, because it just feels like we are in upside down world these days, and there is so much being thrown at us, and we can never forget the power of prayer. You know, I look at this guy across the counter, and I'm not kidding you. I talk about Alan and his beating cancer. You know, prayer works, and we got to pray for our leaders. We got to pray for one another. We have to pray for our political opposition. Hey, I think you got to pray for Colin Kaepernick. I mean, not that he needs any prayers with the millions and millions and millions of dollars he's now earning. I love that. I love the motto of his Nike campaign, which is something like, you probably know what it is, Frank, but I'm paraphrasing.
If you're going to sacrifice,
you give up anything. What is it?
Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Yeah,
that's the campaign.
Because
in fact, I think the Nazis said that in the Second World War.
Well, nothing screams sacrifice everything more than a tens of millions of dollar campaign with Nike. You know, boy, he really
how
sacrificed.
How much are they paying him? Do you know? Do we know?
Well, we're trying to track that down. I saw one report. He had a $39 million contract with the NFL as a quarterback. I'm told that the Nike contract pays more.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's
that's
making,
not surprising.
I don't know. I mean,
but
it's
you know
not
what's
cheap.
scary?
Well, no, but
you
they
know
had
what's
been
scary,
paying him.
Albert, is that his jersey is a top-selling jersey,
Right.
apparently.
And remember, the deal includes a whole line of apparel.
Right.
So he's got Colin Kaepernick apparel that he gets a piece
But
of.
Nike has also never stopped paying him since he signed the deal with Nike.
But
It
why?
was almost up, and they renewed.
Mike, will
renew it.
you tell the national audience this? And we love that you're local and you're so dedicated to New York, man. You live here, man. You're a New
Love it,
Yorker.
love it.
You are a New Yorker. Could you please put this out? Why doesn't Nike go to the stressed areas that Kaepernick pretends he cares about and build factories and make shoes and come back from China and go to Patterson, to St. Louis, to Oakland, to Chicago?
You know, I'm not a fan of pouring money down the drain over something, but think about what impact millions and millions of dollars could have in trying to solve the violence in Chicago. The black-on-black violence. You got kids, men, women, children being
6
slaughtered.
killed this weekend.
6 over the weekend. It's happening. It's a war zone. And so now Colin Kaepernick continues to become a multi... That's what I love about this. These guys all position themselves, whether it's Michael Moore or Colin Kaepernick, as this downtrodden everyman, just barely getting by. You know, Michael Moore's flying around on a private jet making a ton of money.
Yeah.
He's no more an everyman than the man on the moon. And here's Colin Kaepernick, who's emerged as this face. Make no mistake, guys, it is an anti-law enforcement movement. There's no other way to characterize it. So for people to go, listen, I've sworn off the NFL. I won't watch. I'm watching college football. I'm hoping this poison doesn't infect college football, but I won't watch. I'd have nothing to do with the NFL. And I've spent tons of money in the NFL over the years. We used to be season ticket holders for the Dallas Cowboys when we lived in Dallas, when Denise and the kids and I would go every Sunday. Never again. That's the only way it works. I mean, look at Chuck Todd. I was just reading an editorial by Chuck Todd, who's now declaring war on Fox News, talk radio, conservatives in the media. He's decided that reporters like him haven't been aggressive enough in pushing back against the Trumpian message of fake news. So now he's going to push back. Now he's going to become aggressive, like they haven't already.
Can he
Joe.
shave that goatee, that creepy goatee? Maybe start there. Maybe
What
I'm
the
just saying.
president call him sleepy Chuck Todd. Sleepy Chuck.
And by the
Sleepy
way,
eyes.
President Trump, the only politician I've heard mention 2 words: inner cities, and they won't let him get to that because it's got this Russia collusion delusion.
And back to the president for a moment, because so much goes back to him. How'd you like to wake up and realize the 2 major funerals?
That you're married to Melania?
Melania, the 2 major funerals, it was an anti-Trump fest. Both of them.
He was
John
respectfully quiet
Well,
over the week, and he lent that
kind
Air
of.
Force too.
Well, sort of.
What?
He did tweet after Meghan McCain.
He tweet
took her
out?
shot. Oh yeah, he tweeted
How
out.
did I miss that? Go ahead.
A couple hours after she gave her eulogy, that angry eulogy, and we're going to break it down today because we haven't been on the air since McCain's funeral.
Yeah.
She tweeted.
It's still on the funeral, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Well, she went on a very angry eulogy and given the side eye to Mike Pence. And listen, she's a grieving daughter. She's her father's daughter, and they hated Trump. That's no question about it.
What did the president say?
Well, so she in the eulogy said, "We've always been great." You know, it was a slam.
America's always been great. Sure.
Right. So president just very simply tweeted out mid-afternoon, "Make America great again." All caps. That was it. So that was his response to the funeral. Come on, Joe. You know he can't help himself. He can't stay off of Twitter. And he has a very simple message: make the country great again.
Mike Gallagher, 10:05 on AM 970. The Answer. A must-listen every morning on AM 970. We love you, Mike. Go get him, buddy. And we appreciate it very much.
Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.